It's a real privilege for us today to have three of our RSE workers here to share their stories, their experiences from being RSE workers, and in the case of our first speaker, his former experience and also now experience as a pastoral care lead. So I'm going to introduce each of them as they speak. So our first speaker for this morning, and you'll note that we very scientifically decided that he would go first because his name starts with A. So it's my great pleasure to introduce from Lewis Farms, Australia, or Aussie Leilua, who, as I said, is a former RSE worker and is now the pastoral care lead for Lewis Farms. Please give him a hand.
Oh, I'm nervous. I'll be fine. Talofa lava and warm Pacific greetings to you all. My name is Osi Leilua, a pastoral care for Lewis Farm, the best strawberry in New Zealand. And first of all, I would like to give glory to Almighty God for this golden opportunity. And it is an absolute honor to stand before you today to share a story that is very close to my heart. My journey through New Zealand's recognized seasonal employer scheme and how it completely transformed my life. For me, this journey began back in 2019, like many before me. I left home in the Pacific to come to New Zealand as an RSE worker. I stepped onto the old jets, ready to work hard, eager to learn and driven by desire to support my family back home. My time as an RSE worker taught me the value of resilience, dedication, and teamwork. I gained invaluable skills in the horticulture sector, made lifelong friends, and was able to send remittances home that builds home, funded educations, and supported my community. Because of the foundation that built during those years, a massive door opened for me in 2024. I was incredibly fortunate to be selected under the Samoan Quota scheme. That was the turning point. Today, I stand here no longer as a seasonal visitor, but as a permanent resident working full-time and a proud New Zealand citizen. My journey is a success story, but as someone who has lived both sides of the experience, I know that there is always room to grow. To ensure the RSE scheme continues to thrive, we must look honestly at what needs to be improved. Seasonal work is physically demanding, and being away from family for months at a time takes a heavy emotional toll on workers. We need to continue improving pastoral care, ensuring that workers have access to high quality and that their mental health and well-being are supported just as much as their physical productivity. So how can the relationship between RSE employees and employers be strengthened for better outcomes? First, through open and transparent communication. Employers should invest time in understanding the cultural backgrounds of their workers, while workers should feel safe and empowered to voice their concern. Second, by viewing workers as partners, not just labor. When employers provide opportunities for RSE workers to upskill, whether through financial literacy, leadership training, and technical skills, they aren't just building better workers for the season, but they are investing in human beings who will take those skills back to enrich their home countries. Third, through mutual respect. When an employer treats their team like family, loyalty and productivity naturally follow. When the relationship between employer and employee is strengthened, the outcomes speaks for themselves. Business thrive, fruit is harvested to world-class standards, and workers return home with dignity, financial security, and pride. As a suggestion to employers, ensure there is ample work available for the team. That is the other one thing that truly motivates them to work hard, knowing that there are plenty of work for them. Believe me, they will eagerly seize these opportunities when they see that the hours are good and plentiful. I would like to take this moment to express deep gratitude for these invaluable opportunities, and it brings me a great satisfaction to have the strong support of my employer in this journey. I am truly grateful for my bosses who firmly champion the development of skills and competence in the execution of my duties. These elements within our workplace are what elevate the quality of the work to an exceptional level. I am living proof of what can happen in New Zealand when New Zealand opens its doors and the Pacific provides its hard-working hand and heart. Let us continue to work together to make this scheme fairer, stronger, and more rewarding for every worker who steps on these shores and every employer who welcomes them. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you very much.
Whawhataitele lava, Ozzy. We'll come back to some questions for you at the end of the panel. Before I introduce our next panellist, you would have heard Dr. Bedford and Olivia mention yesterday, it's Vanuatu Bislama Language Week. And I'm not going to attempt, because I'm not as fluent as the two of them, so I'm not going to butcher the language, but I just wanted to say that because our next speaker is from Vanuatu, and it's my great pleasure to introduce Markinson Ishmael, who works at Trevelyan's. Markinson comes from a small island named and you're going to have to correct me if I get this wrong, Markinson, Uripiv Island, which is off to the north coast of the Malekuta Island in Vanuatu. He later went to Santo, the big island, for education, but had to leave high school to support his parents with his younger siblings' education fees. Markinson, we're very pleased to have you here with us today and looking forward to hearing your story. Please give him a hand.
Good morning and hello, Gada. I want to say thank you to Horticulture New Zealand, MBIE, and my employer, Trevelyan's, for giving me this opportunity to travel to Wellington to speak about my journey and experience in the RSE scheme. This is a very big honor for me. My name is Markinson Ishmael. I am 31 years old, and I come from the island of Uripiv, off the northeast coast of Malekula in Vanuatu. I have 7 siblings. Before I joined RSE, I was a seafarer, working on cargo ships around northern part of Vanuatu. In 2022, a friend approached me saying his team needed a responsible driver to join them. This is how I joined RSE. I never thought I would have an opportunity like this. I began working with Trevelyan's in Tepuki, first in the packhouse on evening shifts, and later in the orchard doing pruning work. In 2023, I went down to Australia. I want to be honest with you today. I faced difficult challenges there. After 3 months, there was no work. So we stayed home for 2 months without work. Eventually, it reached the point where I disengaged from the program, and I went to find work elsewhere. After seeking guidance from our country liaison officer in Australia and the Labour Department, I decided it was best to return home. I saved enough money to buy my ticket and flew back to Port Vila. Sadly, when I returned home, those challenges didn't just disappear. The pain and shame followed me home and I struggled to readjust. Luckily for me, in 2024, I was given the chance to return to RSE. Since then, I've been returning to Trevelyan's season after season. And it has been a turning point for me. I would like to salute my employers for the care and respect they show us seasonal workers. It took me a couple of seasons to truly learn how to save properly and stick to my goals. Financial independence is a lot of responsibility. When you come from hardships, it is very easy to spend your money on things that feel good in the moment, but that you later realize were not necessary. When you work hard, it feels good to spend what you've earned. The biggest thing RSE has taught me is punctuality. Respecting that responsibility of being at work on time, every time. I have been able to build the foundations for a successful life for myself and my family. I want to speak honestly about what this journey cost us, because I think it's important for the people to understand what seasonal workers experience. Family separation is hard. There are days when missing my family is heavy for me. I have had friends who lost family back at home while they were here working. And being faced with the decision to return or stay because you don't know if you will get the opportunity to return, it's very hard. The weather is another challenge. I came during the cold months, and getting up in the morning to go to work can be a real struggle when your body isn't used to that kind of weather. Food is also something we don't talk about. Because we want to save as much money as possible, we often don't spend on quality food here. We talk amongst each other about the meals we cook. Rice. Always rice with potato, noodles and chicken. Our plates can be too wide, which is not healthy. Back home, eating the island food we love and eat is so much cheaper. This is a sacrifice many of us make quietly. And there's something else I've come to notice: poor quality sleep. Back home, in our villages, it is peaceful. Our family are close by. When we walk, there isn't the same pressure. But here, we come especially to work and save. So many things, like many nights I spent worrying. How will work be tomorrow? Will I do a good job? Is my family safe? This is heavy on our minds every night. Even if it's invisible to others. My biggest motivation is being able to provide for my family. When I was young, I didn't finish school because my parents couldn't afford the fees. RSE has allowed me to help pay for my siblings' education. If I had the opportunity to finish school and go to further study, my life might have looked very different. So I am grateful that because of this work, my siblings can achieve what I could not. RSE has helped me start a small grocery shop in my village. Season after season, I grow it a little bit. My goal for the next couple of seasons is to save enough money to buy a plot of land in Port Vila. I don't have enough time for my speech to list all the things I have been able to achieve because of RSE. I am just fortunate that I have been given this opportunity. I want to close by speaking not just for myself, but for the seasonal workers who were able to share their voice with the important people in this room today. For us, the most important thing is simple. We come here to work, not to be tourists. When some workers face weeks without enough hours, unable to work, it is deeply discouraging. Not because we don't appreciate being in New Zealand, but because working is the entire reason we made the sacrifice of leaving our families and homes. Every week without work is a week further from our goals, our families, and the futures we are trying to build. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Markinson. We very much appreciate your reflections, the highs and the lows of being in the RSE scheme. Our third and final speaker for this morning comes to us from Teamwork in JR Orchards. It's my great pleasure to welcome, and I think, I'm taking a guess, he might be our youngest speaker at the age of 27. Are you the youngest on the panel? You are. And prior to joining the scheme in 2021, he was an electrician and a farmer in Samoa. And he's going to talk about what the RSE experience has been like for him. Please welcome Samuelu Fa'aluma.
Yeah, I'm the youngest. Kia ora, good morning, and talofa lava. Te Aomanuia, government officials, head of ministries, farm owners, growers, and everyone present here today. My name is Samuelu Fa'aluma. I am 27 years of age, born and raised in Samoa. And I am working for Teamwork and Focus Contracting Limited in Hawke's Bay, under the leadership of our kind and friendly boss man, Jas Singh, and he is here with us today. I have been very fortunate to have secured a spot in RSE scheme for 4 to 5 years in a row now. For many of my brothers and sisters on the scheme, I too join as a way to help provide for my ainga back home. It is an honor to be part of New Zealand RSE conference this year, and it is my first time facing big crowd like this. I would like to thank you for this opportunity for us to stand up here and hear the voice of the scheme. I may be young, but I'm also a leader in our company and the RSE boys from Samoa in teamwork. I won't lie to tell, I'm not gonna lie about this, but I'm one of the proudest and happiest RSE worker here in New Zealand. And again, talofa, talfalava.
Test. How are we going? Right. Thank you very much to the three of you for both, first of all, coming all the way here. And I was a little bit worried because at 9:30 the planes hadn't landed. So very pleased, Sam and Markinson, that you got in the room, because Ozzy thought he was going to have to speak by himself, which would have been fine too. We're really grateful for you sharing what are some quite personal experiences for you in your time. And I wanted to pick up one of the themes that all of you mentioned in your words with us this morning, and that's the importance of family. And that's both your family by birth and the new family that you've become part of here as part of the RSE scheme. We also heard, and I think particularly in your words, Markinson, just some of the challenges of being away from your families for so long. So the question I have for each of you, what has helped both you and your families being able to manage being apart for so long? What's something that has helped you?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, I would like to say, yeah, it's hard for me, but we just stay in contact through phone, talk every day, makes me feel like I was in Vanuatu always. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Ozzy or Sam, any comments from you?
I think the same. Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, everything. TikTok.
So thank you to social media then, we helped. Sam, anything else for you that's helped?
I would like to say WhatsApp, because it's private, you know, and even Facebook. And TikTok as well, it's right. The people from Samoa like TikTok. Yeah. I won't lie about that. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear you mention Facebook, because I thought that was only for old people like me. So that's great. Well, it's great that you have ways to keep in touch, because again, you are separated by a lot of distance. My next question for each of you is, what's one piece of advice you would have for someone from your country who is thinking about joining the RSE scheme? What would you say to them?
Thank you. I have only one word. He has to have patience inside him.
Say again?
He has to have patience.
Yes. Have patience. Something I'm still learning. So thank you, Markinson. Ozzy?
One word is to use the opportunity wisely, because many people in Samoa, they don't have this opportunity, but they still looking forward to come. But some people, when they come, they don't use it wisely. But my advice is to use the opportunity wisely. Yeah.
Thank you. Sam?
Well, my thinking of that is those one who want to come here, work on under RSE, have to think, think twice before you come. Like you have to set a goal for yourself before you get here. Like do something better for your family when you get here. That's all I'm going to say there.
Thank you. We've got about 5 minutes, so I'm going to open up to questions from the floor. And I did say to our team, I'm going to ask people if they have questions, but you don't have to answer them. So I've got one in the middle there. Helen, can I head you over to the centre there? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments and feedback. It's really valuable from my perspective. My question is, Markuson, I've worked for several years now with a lot of Nivan workers. I feel like Vanuatu is an extension of my own home and family. What can we do as employers if we notice somebody is lost, somebody is lost their way? Your experience, I was really interested in how you've described what it's been like for you. So I'd be really keen to hear what can we do as employers to support and help that person.
Thank you. Okay, for me personally, I would say, in Vanuatu, most of us are shy to speak up. So I reckon the employer has to go down and visit like the workers daily or weekly to know what's going on inside them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Other questions? We've got one over here in the middle. Go, Helen, go.
Yeah, thank you very much for all your experiences. It's actually quite humbling and really beautiful to hear for us, that as you are all an extension of our family. My question really is around still again the connection with your family back home. It's easy for some of the boys that are returning that have still, saved a little bit of money. They've got a phone, but for their first year when they get here, a lot of them don't. And so how would you see the best option or the best way to be able to keep your communication with your family in their first seasons? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would say, for example, my employers, when first time we arrived in New Zealand, they gave us phones. And then we later paid them back. So when we enter New Zealand, we know that we're gonna have phone. So as soon as we went to our accommodation, we just pop in the Wi-Fi and then we call back to our families. Thank you.
Some of the boys, they will wait for the first pay week. And they will buy the phone. But sometimes when my bosses gave them the $100 when they got here, they will buy the phone straight away. But I told them off, no, don't do that. Buy food. Thank you.
We get on the first time, every year, before we start working, we just get that $200 from the company. And that $200, we have to maintain our life here. Buy some phone, buy some clothes, and buy some food. That's more important. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to take one more question.
Do you have a question?
No? Okay. One question from our table, from the Kiribati delegation. First of all, thank you, presenters, for your insightful presentation. It's very important for the members of the delegation from the different countries, as well as Kiribati. So one question is, if you can please share your experience in terms of any support that you may have received if there's any issues around family separation. This is something that, from the Kiribati perspective, we would like to hear, because that's what we also need to improve on for the well-being of the workers and the family members. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think sometimes when we face difficulties, we often call our families, and then we talk about it with them. And most of the time, for us, we spend it with our pastoral case and our RSE manager too as well. Like if we are downhearted or something like that, they pop in to help us out, comfort us, and then, yeah, that's where we step up again and keep going. Thank you.
It's great, and I think you highlight, and all of you said this a bit in what you spoke, the importance of having that, whether it's pastoral care support, whether it's your manager, whether it's your employer, keeping close communication with each other. And and it was great to hear you acknowledge and celebrate that. We've come to the end of the panel, and I'm really grateful to Ozzy and to Markinson and Sam for coming here today to share their experiences, because after all, this is what the scheme is about, right? Alongside all of you, it's how you work together to make for really great experiences. So we thank you for your time, for sharing your stories so clearly with all of us. And we wish you well for the rest of your RSE journey and in your travels back home. Whaftai tele lava. Thank you too much. Thank you, everybody.